legislators in both national and state assemblies to be good, they must carry out the functions expected of them in the system of representative democracy. And the main functions are making laws, representing the people, of course, and also representing constituencies and the power balance. And these functions are well articulated on this platform every week by one of those active lawmakers who is the mouthpiece of the Green Chamber, Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu. The platform is Ben Kalu's mandate, his weekly engagement with the good people of Abia State, especially Bende Federal Constituency at the 9th House of Representatives. Of course, he's representing Bende Federal Constituency and the chairman, Committee on Media and Public Affairs, doubling as the official spokesperson of the House. Bridging the gap between the parliament and the people is Ben Kalu's mandate. My name is Michael Oni. Our regular guest is joining us virtually today, Representative Benjamin Okezie Kalu. Glad to have you join us. Welcome to Ben Kalu's mandate.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Michael, for having me again today, and for Ben the people, Abians and Nigerians. Always a pleasure to be here in our efforts to bridge the gap between the people and the parliament. It promises to be a beautiful engagement today and informative as well. So let's get it rolling. Thank you.
All right, thank you for joining. Let's begin the conversation with the story from the National Assembly that trended on social media, where the Senate frowned at a plan by the federal government to borrow $200 million to purchase mosquito nets and other ancillary medical therapies to prevent malaria. Members of the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debts faulted that proposed loan request when the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Health, Mahmouda Maman, informed them of the plan. We know Nigerians are reactionary when huge amount of money is mentioned, and now the questions are being asked about $200 million for mosquito net in the country. What is the position of the House of Representatives on this?
Thank you very much. Yes, it has been a topical issue, and I'm happy you are bringing it up. As you know, we practice bicameral system of legislature. So if the Senate takes a position, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the position of the House. It presupposes that we should go into research to know what our informed position is going to be when the matter appears before us. It is important to note that we also have a committee in charge of malaria, HIV, and tuberculosis in the House. We have health services, we have health institutions, and we also have the debt and loans committee that is in charge of this borrowing. The joint committee will look at this issue when it appears before them. But as the spokesperson of the House, it is always expected that I have an informed position on issues that borders on the position of the House, or to advise where necessary. And it made me to go into a little research to know what is this topic all about. It is about World Bank impact fund for malaria eradication.
Okay.
And many people have gotten too used to. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm saying that many of us have gotten too used to malaria that we don't see it again as sickness. But is it what it's supposed to be? Is the World Bank only wasting their time? Is the WHO only panicking for nothing? But from our research, we found that this is to address the purpose of this fund is to address equity in the health sector, especially as it concerns accelerating access to interventions that will lead to malaria elimination, and also to prevent catastrophic setbacks and gains achieved so far with some of the global partners like the Global Fund and all the rest of them, and also to stimulate local industry, malaria control commodities production as well. So we asked us, what is the situation of malaria today in our country? Remember, well, it is a mandate of the government, of this government, and any other government in Nigeria to protect lives and properties. And sicknesses, health happened to be one of the things that had to do with security of lives. And not only against guns, it should also be against any prevalent disease. So we try to check whether the malaria situation in Nigeria today calls for such intervention, and if yes, what's needed to be done in the field. Are we going to leave it as it is? Are we going to do something about it? And the statistics is not looking good. If you look at the statistics as it is, you will find out that the malaria prevalence in Nigeria at the moment is so huge. Abia State, for example, is having about 14%. Imo is 8%. Rivers is 11%. Akwa Ibom is 23%. Ebonyi is 31%. And Ekiti is 32%. Ogun is 22%. Kebbi is 52%. Sokoto 36%. Zamfara 36%. Kano 32%. Kaduna 33%. And that goes on and will not allow me to go through all of them. But let me just put this. We have currently an estimated population of 226,632,001 person is expected to be the population of Nigeria in 2021. And the major endemic public health disease at the moment, which is contributing to about 25% of under year 5 mortality rate, is malaria. So we have currently occupying a position that is not so fantastic at 27% of global cases of malaria. It's found in Nigeria. We are currently having 23% global cases of malaria death. Not just having the cases, but now death, 23% of the global death is found in Nigeria. We have about 57 million clinical cases annually, and we have 91,000 deaths annually. We also found out that 30% admission, hospital admission has been recorded, and 60% outpatients attendances have been also recorded. And who does it affect mostly in these statistics? It affects mainly children, pregnant women, adults, and in fact, everyone is affected. And Nigeria has not been sleeping. One will say, what has Nigeria been doing over the years? Nigeria has been involved in some key interventions, which have been found mainly on coordination, procurement, and supply chain prevention. Like you have campaigns, mass campaign, seasonal malaria chemo prevention, and a whole lot of other ones they've been doing. But the major arms of intervention a number of countries have adopted to achieve full eradication has been through what they call the vector control, chemo prevention, and diagnostics. And Nigeria made notable progress with these interventions that I just listed over the years, especially with the increase in the utilization of mosquito nets, especially in children under 5 years of age. And the utilization has increased from 6% to 49% and has reduced the parasite prevalence down from 42%, which we saw in 2010, to 22% as at the last count in 2018. Now the question becomes, what is the rationale for this World Bank facility? Why do we need it? Like I said, the report of the World Bank in 2018 reported additional 1.5 million cases in the country. And this is due to the large funding gap, limiting access to intervention commodities. For us to cure this, and to sustain the past gains, this funding gap must be breached, because this funding gap I've noticed in 2019-2021 implementation cycle. And it must be breached going forward, even beyond 2021. So the fund that is in question is targeting 13 states, which has not been supported by Global Fund and other interventions.
Okay.
And once you take care of a particular part of the country and you don't take care of the other country, that country you didn't take care of will now come and affect or infect your results in the other countries. So to have a significant impact, we need to look at these 13 states and do something about them. And the Global Fund that have been supporting the other states, this year within their 2020 and 2022 Global Funding cycle, they increased their funding by 33%, but they gave a precondition. And that precondition is that Nigeria must make available resources to fund the 13 states not currently being funded. And Nigeria also should push forward to avoid remaining in the position we have found ourselves as the nation with the highest malaria cases in the world. It's not an enviable position. So if we fail to do this, there is a threat, of reversal of the gains of global effort on malaria control and elimination. The ones that have achieved before, it might reverse if we refuse to do anything. And at the moment, Nigeria is contributing to 1/4 of the global burden. That is a quarter of the global burden found here in Nigeria. And there's a threat of increase in the funding gap if we don't do what we're supposed to do now. And if that happens, it will affect the world economically, and also increase mortality rates when you look at it from the perspective of public health spectacle. And we will also lose those quick wins for primary health care and our efforts to achieve health for all as prescribed by the SDG, the goals, sustainable development goals. But we're only going to be able to sustain this effort if we fund the gap between that is existing now, between what is being given to us and what we need to get ready for ourselves. And if we do that, it will be a win-win for us, both for malaria elimination and also health gain, especially for our children in this country. We cannot afford to lose the opportunity to scale up local manufacture of materials, because the World Bank loan will support development of local production capacity with a target to produce quality mosquito nets, quality ACTS, yes, and quality RDTS in Nigeria. I see this as a long-term sustainability plan.
Okay.
Especially when there is no significant production platform anywhere within the ECOWAS region as approved by the WHO. So if Nigeria position themselves well now to begin to be the producers of these ACTS, RDT, and mosquito net, by implication, Nigeria will make some income by supplying to the nearby countries within the region. There is a very important thing that Nigerians are forgetting, which I want to highlight, and that is that Uganda and Rwanda has already registered resistance to the drug. The famous artemisinin, I think they call it artemisinin drug, and it's dangerous. If we build resistance against this particular treatment, it means that our malaria will become untreatable. And if it becomes untreatable, it will be worse than COVID-19. And that's the truth. I say so because if you read their history, you find out that the menace of malaria untreatable malaria was one of the things that led to aborting slave trade, because the Oyibos couldn't handle the sickness anymore and it was infecting them because the medication that was being used was no longer working. So we don't want to get to that point where we keep treating and it is not resolved, because at the moment we are depending so much on this artemisinin medication.
Okay.
So investing in malaria will reduce abstinence. When people talk about the economic sense of doing this, what it will do to our GDP. Today, one of my workers called in and said, "I'm not going to come to work." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I have malaria. I need to go to work. I need to go to look at." And it's reducing his productivity today in my office. And that's the same way around the whole country. And we cannot afford to be reducing our productivity when there is something we need to do. So the question becomes, what is the funding gap that we are talking about? Research has shown the funding gap at the moment is at 1.4 billion naira. And this is because the global fund is barely enough. It takes care of 1/3 of the need in Nigeria, and Nigeria is expected to take care of the other third. And that is why they are encouraging us to make sure that we collect this funding that will help us bridge the gap. Because if we fail to, there is a problem there. The problem is that we're not going to be able to get the nets, we are not going to be able to get the ACD, we're not going to be able to do the RTDs and the SMEs. And they might pull back their resources, because Nigeria remains the only country that failed to meet up the partnership co-financing requirement of Global Fund in the previous year. And what that cost us is that we paid 150 million back to them. It's about repeating itself again. So if we fail to access the loan, Nigeria will lose the extra $125 million from the next malaria allocation and stand the risk of returning all additional resources of the co-financing agreement. So, but if we have this loan in partnership with this global fund, United States, United Kingdom, Nigeria will bounce back in the next 3 years. That's the truth, and will be removed from these unpleasant position in the world map that we are the highest burden country with regards to malaria cases. So my position remains that based on this, based on this research, I can assure you that it's an investment towards a sustainable investment towards and eradicating malaria. There are other options like the vaccinations and all the rest of them. But for now, the cheapest route is to show commitment to the Global Fund, that we are doing something about our kids. They are helping us with 1/3. We are doing something about the 3/4 of the whole issue. By assessing this, we want to build capacity in producing all these ACDs and DTS and mosquito net. And since there is no other person, or they don't have much production capacity around the ECOWAS, if there is a WHO approved local content, a company that is able to do it, I'm not in support it should be imported. I'm in support the money should be invested here to build capacity, create more job, reduce unemployment rate. Why not if not? Because over time, the cost of buying the net will be reducing because capacity has been built, and we may not need World Bank to be able to handle this. Thank you very much. So I think this is what I'll be advising. This will be my line of debate when it comes to the House of Representatives.
To the House of Reps. All right. Just before we go for the break, I would like you to answer this question. With the estimates of the 2022 budget before the Parliament, I remember the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, offered a promise to Nigerians to the effect that the House of Representatives under his leadership will ensure exhaustive scrutinization of the budget proposals presented by President Muhammadu Buhari. To analysts, it is expected that the House pay deep attention to the borrowing plans as well as act in unison to producing a workable budget. But I know the deliberations are still ongoing. Can you bring us up to speed on this? And when is the public hearing expected to happen? These are some of the things I believe your constituents will also want to know.
Like I gave you the calendar of the budgets, we are committed to making sure that we meet up the deadline that our calendar, but not sacrificing quality for speed. Let me inform you that public hearing by the appropriation committee was scheduled to take place between the 8th and the 9th, which is today, from our lender. I've not had anything to show that it was shifted. If there is, we'll get to know, because we are going into plenary in the next few minutes. Like I mentioned before, our calendar said presentation of the draft budget by Mr. President on the 7th of October. Production and distribution of budget details, hard copies, will be on the 8th to 5th of October. And then debate on the general principle of the bill will take place on the 12th to 14th of October, which has taken place. Appropriation committee meeting starts 14th of October. Budget hearing engagement with MDAs by appropriation subcommittee takes place between 18th of October and 9th of November. Public hearing by the appropriation committee takes place between the 8th and the 9th of November. Submission and defense of budget report by subcommittee will take place between the 10th to 24th of November. And then collation, harmonization of report by appropriation committee will take place on the 29th of November to 7th of December. Printing and distribution of the first draft copy of the appropriation committee, by the appropriation committee, will take place on the 8th to the 13th of December, while laying and presentation of the report by the appropriation committee will take place on the 14th of December. So this is our timetable, and yes, we are scrutinizing these budgets the way we're supposed to do. Some have been sent back severally, and I'm sure some committees might ask for an extension for a few days. We might resume today and then take another 1 week to go back to the budget to tidy it up. So we're doing it. We're so far so good. Just finished a budget defense now with one of the agencies under the Ministry of Defense before this interaction. I'm going back there maybe in the next 30 minutes. So we are pushing forward, and so far so good.
Interesting. We need to take a break now. When we return, we'll continue the conversation right here on Ben Kalu's mandate. It is the weekly engagement of Representative Benjamin Okezie Kalu with the good people of Abia State, especially Bende Federal Constituency that he represents at the House of Representatives. Stay tuned.
Is Benjamin Okezie Kalu, representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency. I am from Abia State. Arise.
From the hallowed chambers, his voice resonates crystal clear.
You say you shared money recently, and I represent the constituency, and there are 360 of us, and all of them are saying we are not feeling the impact.
He's the unmistaken voice of Undi Bende and the image maker of the House of Representatives.
Swept away houses and roads in communities like Mpa, Umimenyi, Uzita, and Bende. Mr. Speaker,
he's a committed, courageous, articulate, and deeply impassioned lawmaker with the plight of his constituents.
Joining me now on the political segment is Honorable Benjamin Kalu, who's the spokesman of the House of Representatives.
Ben Kalu's mandate gives you first-hand information on the activities of the member representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, as well as his position on national issues. Ben Kalu's mandate airs on Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, and Real 99.1 FM every Tuesday by 10:30 a.m. Ben Kalu's mandate. Gains of quality representation. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It is still Ben Kalu's mandate, of course, the weekly engagement of Representative Benjamin Okezie Kalu with the good people of Abia State, especially Bende Federal Constituency. The program is live on several radio stations in Abia State, from Vision Africa Radio 104.1 FM Umuahia to Flow 94.9 FM. Of course, right here in Umuahia, both on the terrestrial and the online platforms, and also Rail 99.1 FM Aba, Family Love 99.9 FM Umuahia, and ABN Online Radio. and TV. Now let's return to the conversation right here. Of course, we've been having this conversation with Representative Benjamin Okezie Kalu, representing Bende Federal Constituency. It is his weekly engagement with his constituent, of course. Now, let's return to the conversation. Representative, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Representative Femi Gbajabiamila, signed 20 bills passed by the House, including the Armed Forces of Nigeria Trust Fund Bill 2021 for transmission to the Senate for concurrence. 20 bills yesterday at a brief ceremony in his office at the National Assembly. Prior to their transmission to the Senate, of course, for concurrence, like I said. So can you bring us up to speed on this and some of these bills so that we have an idea of what we get to expect, what Nigerians get to expect from these bills?
All right. Thank you very much, Michael. This is to show that the Ninth House of Representatives has not been sitting idle, that we have been working so hard to make sure that the various gaps that exist in our system, that we use legislative intervention to fill them. In some places, you see need for universities, colleges of education, you see colleges of agriculture, and all the rest of them. In some places you see development commission and forensic and certified fraud examiners, and it shows that we are touching various parts of the nation. The bills you mentioned were as follows: the Armed Forces Bill, which seeks to establish Armed Forces of Nigeria Trust Fund, because that is needed to be able to take care of the armed forces better than we are doing currently. It was one of the bills that came out from the engagement during this summit. It was re-emphasized during the summit. It was proposed by the Chairman of the Defense Committee, Jimmy Benson. Okay, we have National Agricultural Development Fund Bill, which also seeks to establish National Agricultural Development Fund to provide funding for agricultural development, because we really need to put more funds in agriculture, because food scarcity, if nothing is done about agriculture, if we are still remaining a mono economy that is dependent on oil and gas in this era of transition from fossil fuel to alternative energies, we'll be shooting our food. So agriculture is important. Also, National Assembly Library Trust Fund. I just had a discussion with you now that borders on malaria. It's a product of research, and as a parliamentarian, you read and you read and you read, because you need to be well informed to take a position in any debate, and we need a good library that is well equipped with state-of-the-art information technology, as well as books covering all topical issues in the world. So that bill is going to help us have that National Assembly. Then we have the Chartered Institute of Forensic and Certified Fraud Examiners of Nigeria Bill. So we want to have an institute of these bills, are establishment bills. Because forensic experts, we need to know who are forensic experts, who are certified fraud examiners, so that we know who to hire when the need arises, and whose credible evidence will be made use of by the courts when the need arises. The National Biotechnology Development Agency Bill 2021 is one of them. And also you have the Southwest Development Commission Bill 2021, North Central Development Commission Bill 2021. 2021 Northwest Development Commission Bill 2021 Southeast Development Commission Bill, which was sponsored by our sister Kirukonye Georgia alongside others. You can see now you have in Southwest the Development Commission, North Central Development Commission, Northwest Development Commission, and Southeast Development Commission. So this will aid the development of the nation, bringing it down home to be managed in a way that you will not have maybe 9 states under one development plan. It will now be about 5 to 6 states.
Interesting.
Talking about 5 to 6 states, I'm still emphasizing that the Southeast needs 6 states, not 5 states. Yeah, there are other ones that have to do with universities and colleges of education. I don't think we should bother ourselves with that.
Okay, it looks like this is a departure from what we have before, having only the Niger Delta Development Commission. But hopefully, we hope this would not affect some of the Southeast states that, if finally passed into law by Mr. President, that are already under the Niger Delta Development Commission, like Abia State, a Southeast state. And we're still going to have Southeast Development Commission.
No, you cannot have two development. You cannot be under 2 development commission. So if you're going to be in Southeast Development Commission, which you are by law, you are supposed to be under. The Niger Delta now will maybe be amended to be the South Development Commission, no longer Niger Delta. Or the Niger Delta will now concentrate only on the South region, because you can see from all those things I mentioned, you will not see South Development Commission, because we already have Northeast Development Commission. So you have Northeast Development Commission, North Central Development Commission, Northwest Development Commission. So the northern areas or the geopolitical zones they're taken care of. Then you come to the south, you have the Southwest Development Commission, you have the Southeast Development Commission. What is missing there is only the South to complete the equation. So it means that the Niger Delta Commission might become the South Development Commission. But we'll see how it goes. So maybe it will come via amendment of bills once all these ones have been passed into law. But they are not yet passed into law. To still go through the process. The Senate will look at it, and then it will go back to the clerk of the National Assembly, and from there it will migrate to the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for him to assent.
Fantastic. So
right.
Let's look at some issues that borders on your being an individual now, apart from being a representative. Now, awards coming in left and right. Before we throw the lines open, I know Stop Tuberculosis Partnership in Nigeria, a part of the Global Tuberculosis Caucus and implementing partner of the United Nations High-Level Meeting resolution, nominated you for an award as the outstanding legislative for your outstanding legislative contribution towards improved tuberculosis funding. And back home here, you've been given an award for Abia Most Outstanding Federal Legislator. Even as a first-timer in the House of Representatives, I'm sure you will want to react to these awards that come in from left and right before we throw the lines open today on the program.
Okay. Thank you very much. On the tuberculosis, you see, when you get into the parliament, there must be certain areas of interest that you align yourself to. So you have different caucuses. So there is what they call the tuberculosis parliamentary caucus. So I'm interested in health. Like I've always said, I'm surrounded by a lot of health. My family have about 6 doctors, medical doctors. So all I hear about is health, this, health, that. So somehow I'm influenced towards health issues. So that has made me a little bit of an unfortunate medical, uncertified medical practitioner. So things like HIV, things like malaria, things like tuberculosis, I took interest there. And from day one, I started fighting for more funding for tuberculosis, because a lot of people suffering from tuberculosis are not, being looked after, and there's a lot of is or how do I put it? They are not confident to address their issues because there's this stigma around them. And I decided to embrace that, and I've been an international advocate on this. I've led a lot of advocacies globally, not just in Nigeria. I've been on different United Nations platforms, conferences to debate states, and also in the House. So I think they saw my work, especially my motion on the last Tuberculosis Day, and I was nominated as one of the people that will receive the award as having contributed massively to funding of this particular tuberculosis issue in Nigeria. It's a big one. It's a big, because it's an international community that became the award. Sometimes when I hear people say you're going to buy an award, Benjamin Kalu'S is not interested in it. In fact, we are rejecting a whole lot of them. But if there are ones that we appreciate, we feel that will add value to the work we are doing, our profile, to enable us have more windows and our doors to address the issues we are conversing, we will accept. So this is one of them. So I'll be accepting it on the 11th of this month, which is this week. And at 4 p.m. at International Conference Center, Abuja. Most of the people, I think the Vice President will be there, most of the people will be there. Even the wife of the President is supposed to be there as well. So it's a good thing that IBMs and Benjamin is being honored. That's my contribution to global development. Yeah, the one of Abia State also, the bloggers and Abia State, I really appreciate that, because from home, if you are recognized from home, you're doing something good. Because they always say the prophet has no honor in his hometown. We don't expect anybody to celebrate us in our hometown, because it's a normal thing. Jesus was not celebrated in his hometown. But if your people are now gathering together and say, you've done well, it's not for you to raise your shoulders. It's for you to be motivated to do more, because they are watching. I think they are about 30-something or 40-something bloggers watching you and saying, no, we should make this award. It's something commendable. It will motivate us to do more. There's another award, actually. There's another one. It's another big one by independent newspapers. I think it's coming up sometime also this month for the whole of Southeast and also Abia State. So let's see as in fall it unfold. Maybe we'll let you know by the time we'll meet again next Tuesday. But all this to show that then the people made a good decision, and Abia people made a good decision to support me to be where I am. And it's not for me. Like we call this program Benjamin Kalu'S mandate. Ben Kalu'S mandate. A mandate is not what belongs to you. It's something that comes from another to you to hold for a particular time. And we don't take it for granted. We hope to use it, to its maximum form, not for ourselves, but for our people, because it is the same spirit that we found in the likes of Akane Biam, the likes of Okpara, later Okpara, the likes of Mbakwe, as a kind of spirit that some of us came with. And it's about the people, about God first, about the people second, and about us third. It's not about me getting wealthy here. It's not about me bearing big titles. It's about working for the people.
So
far, people are saying we are doing well. I pray I will do it more. Yeah.
Okay, before we throw the lines open, last week we spoke about it. I think, thank God, is in order, looking at the outcome of that election that took place, although it is still an ongoing process, because today Ihiala local government will be going to the polls to conclude that process in Anambra State. So I think, thank God, is in order. We spoke about it last week, and you gave an advice on the program.
Yeah, I knew you'd be asking this today. Somehow I knew that you'd be asking. If you didn't ask it, I'll be wondering if you are not following event. That shows that you're really following events. Yes, we spoke about it, and I am happy that the IPOB team did not cause any trouble. I'm very proud of them. Really, really proud that some of us who prayed to them and begged them not to present themselves to be shot, they listened to us and they did not come out. I'm really happy that first among all that we achieved in Anambra is that we did not have our brothers slaughtered like cow. For me, that was the first victory. To be honest, I am happy that none of the IPOP members got shut down. So I give them kudos for, allowing democracy to take place. Then the second one is what is happening in Anambra is to show that force and money is not enough to win the election. People is all you need in a democracy, and we are migrating to that. The metamorphosis is happening in the political ecosystem, where people are seeing money and saying, you know what, take your 5,000, take your 10,000, keep it to yourself. I don't want it. This is where we want to go. So it means that we are advancing in our democratic understanding and principle. And I give kudos to that old woman that they televised, and some of them who said no to money politics. And it's telling you tomorrow that you don't have money. It's not an impediment for you to be, loved by your people. They might see your quality of life, your attitude, your character, and said you are the one that they want. If they call on you, you go and hearken to that call. The people will say no to money and say yes to who they feel has what it takes to lead them, and that is my own take home from that. And people who believe, oh, I'm of this party, I'm of that party. When the time comes, there will be magic. There's no magic anywhere. It's only the people's magic. There's no magic. You believe, oh, we have army, we have police, or we have money, or we have power. It's not true. Nigerians are getting aware. So you have the people. It's better to have the people. That's why when people talk about how powerful they are economically and how powerful they are politically, I say I am peopleful. I'm not powerful. I am peopleful. When you are full and consumed by the people, they will stand by you when the time comes. And that is what democracy is all about. Government of the people, by the people.
All right. Okay. The lines are very much open now. You can be part of the conversation at this hour on the radio station you're listening to, because this program is on several radio stations in Abia State. 0808-182-6949, 0811-605-2949. You can also drop messages on 0906-510-8289. It is Ben Kalu's mandate. Glad to have you join us. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Honorable Ben. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I do think, all right, good morning. I still remember one of your brothers, Mr. Suago Prince, from here in Omonachobo. To start with, I thank all of you in the studio. Good morning, all of you.
Go on, Mr. Princewell.
All right. Now, I'm very grateful of the neutrality of our brother, the honorable man. For the last time he did talk of the election in Anambra. And as I'm seeing it, it does go the way he spoke. I love it. Let him remain that neutral till the end of that election. And INEC too, let them remain neutral as they claim to be a national, independent national organization. Then let me come to the IPOB people. I'm very, very grateful that they listen to us. Because I believe the voice of the people is the voice of God. Like the Honorable has said there last time, let them embrace other means, another approach, instead of giving a seat at home and other stringent measures against us in the southeast here.
All right, Mr. Princewell.
If they can back or support a party, it's another way of showing their grievances. Like the Honorable said, let them shun the idea of sit at home. It doesn't give us any
all right, Mr. Princewell, we need to allow others. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Glad to have you join us. What's your name? Okay, we have to move on. Keep your calls coming and your messages coming. We've got messages here. Let's run through the messages even as we're going to accommodate more calls. This one says, just a moment. Good morning, Representative Benjamin Kalu. I am Ebuchulam Ejike Frank from Lohu. Precisely, I want to use this medium to thank you for this wonderful program which has helped in bringing the government closer to the people. I want to also thank you for the great works you have been doing in Bende Federal Constituency. We are very happy with your kind of representation. Secondly, I want to bring to your notice the dilapidated condition of Akoli Meyi Secondary School in Umumeyi. We will be happy if you bring your team down to that school. All right. Glad to have you join us. What's your name? Hello. Okay, keep your calls coming and your messages coming. Let's run through more messages here. Honorable, how do you think the idea of purchasing mosquito nets will be better to equipping our health centers for prevention and curing of malaria? That's coming from Kalu'S from Isikweto. Glad to have you join us. What's your name?
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
I'm Anambra speaking from Bas.
All right.
In fact, I want to use the opportunity to say that we're happy to have Honorable Life here once again in this short period. That shows that we'll have a practical and results-oriented process, a quality representative. We are proud of him. He's creative in all he's doing. And we pray that God, in His infinite mercy, will grant him, protect him, and guard him, and give him the additional wisdom to continue. We are really proud of him. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Yes, what's your name and where you're calling from? Okay, that didn't pull through. Let's run. We have messages also on the Facebook page. Nelson Ojingwa says, says, do you wish you had a representative like me, Representative Benjamin Kalu? Anyways, that's, I believe, a rhetorical question. Hello, welcome. What's your name?
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome. What's your name?
Ben Isugoize from Umaya.
All right.
Okay, good morning, Honorable.
Go on with your contribution, Ugoize.
Good morning.
Okay. I just want to commend the Honorable for the good work he has been doing for the past 2 years. I'm looking for more of him in Abia State. So, he has any plans of coming up for the governor of Abia State solidly.
All right, Ugoize, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. We do appreciate. Let's get more reactions on the phone lines before we accommodate more persons. Yes, glad to have you join us.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
My name is Victor Chinedu Okechukwu.
All right, Victor, you're welcome.
Okay, I am calling in appreciation to Honorable for extending his hand of good deeds to my family. I am the boy that lost a family of 7 in Suyake, and I want to use this medium to appreciate Honorable for the kind of heart and the kind of love he extended to my family towards the burial and for my family. I really want to appreciate his good deeds. Thank you, Honorable. I am a family I appreciate. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Victor, for calling. Let's get more reactions, and Honorable will respond to your questions and your contributions. Glad to have you join us. What's your name?
Hello, Honorable. My name is Sheldon.
All right.
I'm calling from my Honorable. Please, I want to also thank you for the one you are doing, and to also use this medium to appreciate you and also tell you what we are passing through. The road leading to Ozuakoli Road, I know you can help us and tell the government that Abia State government is not helping Oma, they are not. Because what other not people are facing in this regime. It's not what we used to do, face, how we used to face. Like Odilo Kalu did touch every life of the state. But we in Abia North, we are really suffering. Both road, if you want to go to Uzakole Road now, Uzakole, you will not go around through bend. It's not good enough. Please, people should help us and talk to the government of Abia and also the government of federal government to come and assist us. Please, Abia North is really, even if you go to Abreba. Hello?
Yes, quickly,
Abreba,
so that you can respond to.
Abreba, yes, Abreba, all those junction items. We find out that people are really suffering. Yes, our own person, we people are trying for us. Also tell the government that we still belong.
Thank you. I will, let's allow Honorable to respond to your questions and contributions. Yes, you have the floor now.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Princewell. Thank you for your kind words on how neutral I've been, in my opinion. Yes, I'm the man who says it the way it is, and I want to be remembered as a man who says it the way it is. And like I always say, we cannot deny IPOB members. We cannot deny Nnamdi Kanu as our brothers. They are our brothers, and their blood is very special to us. We don't want anything to happen to them. And as leaders in government, for me, we must fight to protect them until we get the resolution on some of the agitation that they are asking for. So I'm happy that they did not go out to be slaughtered like cow. God will bless them and preserve their lives. And also, wisdom is the best thing. It's the most important thing. So they applied it well, and it's very good. They should also keep it up. In other states in the Southeast, nothing stops them from, like I said before, opening a party called the Sunrise Party, or it could be any other political party, and use it to show, their position on issues. And they can grab the whole 5 states in the East. Nobody says they can't do that. They have enough power to do that. They have the population. So that's the way I want them to be thinking. They have the power. They should not underrate themselves. It's not just carrying gun. That's something they can do and make a point that they want to make. Frank Ejike, thank you and for your kind words, and also for bringing to our notice the dilapidated Akoli May under Umi Menyimba. We've actually done a lot for Umi Menyimba in this year. Maybe going forward, let's look at other places and see that it goes round, and then we'll come back to Umi Menyimba so that we can distribute this thing equitably, because other communities are also complaining. They need attention. Now, on Kano Ozomba, mosquito net. I took my time I took about 20 to 30 minutes discussing about mosquito nets and why we need mosquito net. Nobody is saying because we are getting mosquito net as an intervention mechanism that equipping our primary health centers should not be done. But fighting malaria goes beyond equipping the primary health centers. So because some of the people who would use this net, some of them don't even have primary health centers within the 5 kilometers or 10 kilometer radius to where they are living. So let's start with this intervention as we do it side by side with equipping our primary health centers like your pine. Also, somebody called from Mumbai and also send a prayer. Thank you very much, sir. Your prayers go, it is from your mouth to God's ears, and He always listens to prayers. Because it's coming from your heart. I saw the way you were. I listened to the passion in your voice. Thank you very much, sir. Then Ugweze from Umahia, thank you for commending our work and asking me if I come out for governorship, support me. Yeah, we get these calls all the time. It's coming almost every day. You've heard people calling and say run for governor. We are focusing on what we're doing at the moment and touching lives with what God has given to us at the moment. That's where I want to focus for now. And I need your prayers. Just give me your prayers. And then the family, Victor Chidi, that called, on the family that lost 7 people. Once again, accept our condolences and thank you for calling back to appreciate. The Bible says He healed 10 lepers. Only one came to appreciate. You are not the only one who have shown magnanimity recently, but you are the one to come back to thank us. It's to the glory of God and all thanks to God. And I want you to send your thanksgiving to God. We're happy that we're able to play a role in alleviating your pain. There is nothing we can do to remove your pain. Thank you. On Umaya Uzuakoli Road, the point remains that His Excellency Dr. Joseph Kali is doing something. He's working hard to make sure that there's an intervention there. I will also send a message across to the governor to see what we can do there. All of us will team together. I will also start looking for what we can do, because the complaint on that road is so much. Like I mentioned in previous program, we are starting on Okburenyi Road. As we speak now, Okburenyi Road, the machines are there. And I'm surprised nobody is calling from Okburenyi to say, yeah, we have seen the machines. If we work hard, it is good to always come back to report to the people, not just complaining, but also commending. God bless you, and I hope to speak to you next week.
All right, thank you for joining us this week. The program returns next week. Stay safe. My name is Michael Oni.